Well, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, and perhaps even good evening. It is wonderful to see you all. Thank you so much for dropping by for my very sleepy Sunday morning 3D Substance Marvelous Designer Daz Studio Blender type shenanigans. It is wonderful to see you. The Max is here, Lithium Logica is here, Nico is here, the Kemi is here, the Camilla is here, and I've also seen Mr. Fugazi over here, and haven't I also seen Mr. Brian and Mr. Jeremy? I have seen you all. Thank you so much for dropping by, and anyone else who's out there watching, thank you, thank you. I have a tiny bit of bad news, and it will affect our interactivity this morning. I have, do you remember when I had last weekend, I had some issues with getting the stream on YouTube. So I've made some changes and essentially just like created a new thing rather than copy things from old things. And one of those tick boxes I forgot to tick was the ultra low latency setting. So that means that you and I were essentially going to be a kind of 20 to 30 seconds apart from one another. So when I clap, you will get it in about 20 seconds. So as a result of that, when you refer to something that I'm doing, that's already in the past, which is a shame. Usually it's fairly fast in YouTube. We have about 5 to 6 seconds. But right now there's a setting I haven't ticked to make that, even faster. So that's kind of normal, and normal is terrible. So just keep that in mind when you say, no, Jay, don't click that button. It's going to be even more terrible than it usually is. So I just thought I'd let you know that it's one of those things. So what I'm trying to do today is something, let me just show you. Do I see if I can find the outfit? Also, let's go and do some music here. That's the other thing I need to put on. Let's go and put some epidemic music on so that we have those, those chill vibes that we like so much. Happiness, perhaps. Happiness is good. Happiness, that's what we're all here for, isn't it? Vocals, instrumental. We like the non-vocal thing. And do we hear it? No, we just need to switch this on, and then maybe we hear it. Do we? Can I hear stuff? I can hear stuff. That's good. That's good. We'll leave that bubbling in the background. If it's too quiet, if it's too loud, we can always go and change it. I don't want it to be overwhelming. That can happen. So here's what happened. Last week they had save. Say it ahead of time, Brian. I like it. I like it. Okay, so last week they had a big Artstation sale on, didn't they? And I think I bought an outfit. Is that in my library? I think so. My library, there we go. I bought a couple of things here. This one is one that I'd like to have a look at today. It's a women's outfit. It's just called women's outfit. And can we view details? There we go. Oh, there we go. Now I can hear the music. Music's coming. This is it. So I thought it might be killer fun to grab that Marvelous Designer project and put on a custom avatar, like a custom Genesis figure, and do pose and just do a render in Daz Studio. And of course it's not quite as simple as that. So yeah, when this was on sale, I think I had this for like about $3, which is kind of cool. So I wonder how we're going to do that. I've done something similar on Twitch last week with another outfit, and it turned into a bit of a nightmare. And that's mainly because these outfits, as good as they look in the promo pictures, they sometimes aren't, look at the detail here, that's very, very cool. They aren't very easy to convert into something that isn't in Daz Studio. So like in this case, we have a great bit of top stitching and we have a great bit of detail in the folds, and that makes the garment very, very heavy. And we're gonna have to find a way to look at that. So also these things at the back. So I don't know how that's going to come out, and if and how I can actually convert it, but let's see if it works. No, it's probably not UV mapped, Kemi. I'll have a look at it. I don't think it is. That's probably where I'm going to use Blender for that. So yeah, so my plan is to see what the outfit looks like, maybe get rid of some of the detail, just to like the top stitching. As much as I love it, I think it's just going to be too much and a bit too heavy. I also don't know how it simulates, and then I'm going to go and do the UV mapping in Blender. That was my plan, and I'll see if I can turn it to quads in Marvelous Designer, export it out, do the UV unwrapping in Blender, and then it's quite nice. And then see if I can bring it into Daz Studio. And then also, I don't know if I can drape it in Marvelous Designer, or if I just have to export it out as an OBJ, bring it in as an OBJ again, then drape that in Marvelous Designer. I don't think I'm going to touch deforce for this, but that is the plan. Let me go give you a link to this. In fact, there's a little affiliate link I can give you. Copy this and then share and earn if you want to give this outfit a go yourself. Here it is. This is the one. Let's see what we can do here. I've downloaded it already. It's in my downloads folder, and I might not actually use Marvelous Designer 11 for this. Controversial, because I think 10 performs a little bit better. Nancy's is here. Yes, do you know, lithium UVs are being a bit of a pain still in Marvelous Designer. In fact, let's go ahead and crack on with Marvelous Designer 11 and see what comes out there. So yeah, usually there's fashion designers really only care about the look of the garment rather than the functionality. So that's why usually UV mapping isn't there. But this could be so much better in Marvelous Designer. Sadly, it isn't. So maybe in the next iteration we get it. Victoria 8.1. We can try that. Welcome, Nukawoot. I like that. Good username. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Yes, and interesting discussion we had about the YouTube Premium this morning. Auto save file exists. No, that's cool. I think I may have to quit this because it was just not very performant. So let me just go and load this in. I think this is still in my downloads folder. Should I get organized before we get going here? Yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we should do that. Let me put it all into one folder so that I know we have a place to go to. I'll put this in Daz projects, and I'm gonna call it. It didn't have a name, so we need to give it a name. I'm gonna call it Women's Outfit. That's MD Women's Outfit. There, and so that we remember that, I'll just go copy this path out, and in here I'm just gonna ditch it into that as soon as we have it. So it's currently in my downloads folder, so I think open project, and it's called, I think it was just called project. This is it here. No, that's another one. This is another one I've made. I can show you those renders. It's just called Apolls. I think that's it. Let's have a look at that. Indeed, some things are made for pretty renders, some are made for actual templates. Indeed, yeah. So there's just to get a wide variety of outfits. So often I find that people are having a lot of fun in Marvelous Designer, and it looks really good in the app, but you have to make some adjustments to get it to work in other apps. So I think the first thing I like doing is to format my 3D background to something a little easier on the eye. There, much nicer. Patterns. Oops. There's a lot of them. And this top stitching here. Oop. This, I think, is actual geometry. Yes, it is. So this is going to be problematic. So I might go and remove that, even though it is wonderful. It is literally, it's curves, and on the curves, I think there's actual stitches drawn on here. So it could also be that if I export this without the trims, John, in your educated opinion, are these stitches, are they classed as trims in Marvelous Designer? Kind of an interesting one. I would, Kemi, yes. I would probably do it with the transfer utility. Actually, I wouldn't. If I just wanted to use it for my own purposes, I would just export the OBJ out of this, do the UV wrapping, and then I have basically a solid OBJ. And you can then go and use the transfer utility in Daz Studio, and then use deforce on the garment if you wanted to leave it in Daz Studio. I might not do that. I would just import the OBJ that I have back into Marvelous Designer, do the draping there. Oh, okay, so that's good to know, John. Maybe in that case, I don't need to remove all this. I can just go and export this and not use the trims on export. because this would be really nice to have, but I don't think we can. That's just going to be like, you know, 7 quadrillion polygons type thing. I'm going to go and put this into the full 3D viewport. Let's have a look at the geometry here. Mesh, is that what we do? Mesh and tries. Yes. Particle distance looks very heavy on these pieces here. Skirt's probably okay. It could be less dense. But these pieces here, they're a bit heavy. Let me see what the particle distance is on those. So like this here, if I'm allowed to select it, that is this 5. So okay, then this is probably 10 then. 10 indeed. This is also 10, so that's okay. So let me go and select everything here, and then I'll just go and say, after a considerable period of thinking about it here, quadrangulate. Let's do that. So that usually, the difference between that is that when you export the mesh as it is with tries, and then you export it again with quads, usually there's less geometry, and that makes the garment a little bit less heavy going. So it's it'll do us a favor later on. I don't know how the top stitching is going to behave, but I'll leave it in place for now. And the next big thing is, will we be able to drape this garment in Marvelous Designer with a custom character or not? Sometimes what happens is that they literally fall apart. There we go, that's quads. Keep in mind, Lithium, that I'm literally just, I'm not that knowledgeable in these things. It's just a lot of experimentation that got me to this kind of workflow that I'm using here. And somehow we'll come out with a nice render in about 2 hours or so. Yeah, so quads, this is the geometry is nicer now, and when you export this as an OBJ, it's probably going to be a little lighter too. Let's do this, in fact. Oh yeah, one last thing. One thing that I want to check is how are we doing on the UVs here. So that's in Marvelous Designer 11. We've got this new window here. It's not a mode up here anymore. We just changed this into the UV editor window. And yes, that needs to probably be set up. And if I do this, fit all into 0 to 1 space, then we have something like this. So there's overlapping stuff, and they really need to fix this. This is currently pretty much of no real use to anyone who wants to use this. So I'm not even gonna, I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna save it since I've made some changes here in my own folder here, and I will just call this outfit here, outfit v1 as a project. Oh, thank you, Lithium, I appreciate that. Indeed, John is so right. If I type in, in fact, John, if you type in !Fugazi or John, !John or !Fugazi, that should generate a link to your channel with really good tutorials, both on MD as well as Substance Painter. So that's the other thing that we're going to have a look at today. Oops, synchronization start. This is kind of why I like using Marvelous Designer 10. I feel it just does less than, you know, one of those things. Considering we're just saving a project. Meanwhile, while this is doing its thing, I'm going to have a look in Blender and see what this garment is going to look like once MD is finished with that. Not so much edit, no. I mean, to a certain extent, yes, Kemi, you can go and you can lay out the UVs, but it's a completely manual process. So everything that was overlapping is something that you'd have to you'd have to put in place, like, so this top part here, I'd have to literally click that and then move that over here, and then I have to click this part and move that over here, and so like it doesn't auto unoverlap things, and I think that's just not really, that's, you know, it packs it all into the 0 to 1 space. And if you had, like, you know, whatever, 7 large pieces, then it's really easy for you to manage it, but it's not something you can really use. It's kind of an emergency option if you have to get maps out of Marvelous Designer. But yeah, it's not really recommended to use this. Let me go and try to export this out as OBJ without the top stitches, so without the trims essentially. So I'll make a new outfit in here, a new outfit, new folder, OBJs, and I'll call this one outfit quads v1. See if that works. And we want no avatars, we want all the patterns, but we don't want the graphics and the trims, I'm hoping. I'm going to do this single object welded thin unified UV coordinates. Did I look at the scale? I didn't, did I? Let's do this again. Keep an eye on the scale. The Sacred Sage is here. Hey, congrats on over 200 subscribers on YouTube. That is quite an achievement. Last time I checked, which wasn't that long ago, was about 160. So you're growing, my friend, you're growing. That is really cool. I don't think I have a shout out for you, but Brian or Camilla, if you could go ahead and find Sage's YouTube channel and just give my man a shout out that people can subscribe. Sage does tutorials about Daz Studio, as well as now new, coming soon, iClone, as well as a little bit of Unreal Engine. So very cool. And he's one of my supporters, so welcome, welcome. I need to give you a shout out. I need to give you like a command. This looks like Marvelous Designer is working hard here on doing this export. Well, there's a lot to do, isn't there? You're welcome, buddy. And very nice job on the first iClone animation there. Sage has done quite an impressive piece for the fact that he's very new to iClone, has only been looking at it for a couple of weeks, and all of a sudden, very good short animation on his channel. Very good. Was very impressed by that. Very cool. Thank you, Brian. Exciting. Thank you. I was going to have a look at the scale at which I exported that, just so that I know what I actually did there. So we'll just, you know, yes, that's cool. Just wanted to know what the export dialog said. Was it in centimeters? It's in meters. Perfect. So that's nice. So meters is good for Blender. Centimeters would be good for Daz Studio. So, but meters is fine. I just wanted to know what we have here. Let's have a look at this in Blender then. Wavefront OBJ. Something I haven't actually checked. Does it roughly line up with our Genesis avatar? And we should keep the polygroups intact. Not essential, but you know, materials will still stay intact. So, aha. So we do have outfit, check. That is good. It looks just like it did in Marvelous Designer. Check the statistics here. We're talking 151,000 triangles, so that isn't bad. I think that's usable. And are we missing the top stitch? Yes, we're missing that, and we're also missing all the stitches. Cool. a little bit of work in Substance Painter then for us. See how much I can do. Materials, do we have those? I didn't check the materials. Yes, we do have materials. That's all relatively positive, isn't it? Relatively positive here. So one other thing I like checking, how does the back look? I saw in the, oh, I see. So the golden rivets around these holes here, I think they were also trims. So I'm going to leave those out just as a first pass. It's always good to, you can always do this later then. But one other thing I like checking in at this point is the face orientation here. So it's one of those things you might want to check and just see. Right, so anything that's blue means the normals point to the outside, and anything on the inside of the garment is basically the normals, the other side of the normals, and that's fine. That's cool. But things on these pieces here, this is where the normals are incorrect. So not so much on the strap. I mean, that's just a small detail. It's probably not two-dimensional. So this looks as if. Yeah, this is not the backside of something. This is actually this needs to be turned around so that it's on the red stuff's on the inside, the blue stuff's on the outside. So we have that on the two arm pieces here. So it kind of depends. Sometimes you can do it in Blender by just clicking L. No, that doesn't work. Okay, so this is all the linked geometry here. So it's possible that this is on the UVs, but it might also be that is just inside of Marvelous Designer here. So I'll go and check the same thing here. Yeah, okay, so I can see the Marvelous Designer as well now that I'm aware of the issue. The gray stuff here, this is the normals facing the other way. So yeah, I can just click the pattern piece, and that's gonna select the whole thing that I want to turn around. So thankfully we can also go and say flip normal after a considerable thinking period. Drawdeye, how you doing? Good to see you. So what was your nickname before then? Don't leave us hanging. Oh, you were the vampire. Okay, cool. Well, vampire, may I call you vampire? Hello, hello. Good to see you. Eventually, and Marvelous Designer is still thinking about it, we should have the flipped normals. I have to do the same thing on the other side, during which I can't really move the viewport. No, can't do that. I still have a feeling 10 was a little bit more responsive. Could just be my system, but you know, one of those things. There might be, I have never looked. It's a very good question. Let's explore it. So partly the problem why I didn't do it in Blender is because Blender can do that as well. Partly why I didn't do that here is because it was difficult for me to select this piece. So in Marvelous Designer, it's just one click to select this thing. In Blender, it'll be tricky. So L is usually something that selects the linked normals or the linked polygons, but that didn't work in this case. Another option would be to have a look at the UV map, but I found it much faster to just do this recalculation in MD because it's probably a pattern piece. So there we go. It worked on both sides. That's nice. So let me go and export this out again. In fact, out twice. So I'm going to do it once with the top stitch and once without, just so that we see a geometry difference there. So this one is going to be exported out just like I had it before. And I'll just overwrite what I had there. And then we'll have a look at flip normals. In Daz Studio. While it is thinking about it, I might just do that now, you know, because life's too short. We have limited time left on this planet. That's flipping of the normals. Yeah, so that's if you imagine you had just a two-dimensional plane, one side has the normals pointing this way, this is it doesn't have a name, the other side of the normals, and if you flip them, you basically just change the orientation. Note that this is classed as a geometric change. So if you have that on patterns, no avatars, no top stitches. There we go. If you ever have that on a garment in Daz Studio and you think, hey, that's the wrong way around, I'm just going to go and flip it in an external application, then bring it back as a morph. You can't do that because flipping the normals is classed as a geometric change. It's like changing the geometry, so careful with that. I can show you what happens there. I don't want to. So yes, there's an option in Blender that says recalculate all the normals. So I can just go and select everything. And then I think under mesh, we could say, we can say normals, and then we can say either flip. That would literally just flip all of them. Not what I want, because now I'm having literally the inverse of what I had before. So I'll undo that, like so. But there's also recalculate normal. So let's try that. Recalculate outside and recalculate inside. Let's say I recalculate the outside. See what happens. Other stuff goes wrong, and it's just patchy. So this is one of those operations that on some meshes it just doesn't work, and this is one of those examples. So I could now go probably try and do this. Now see, if I say the linked arm, it's just not going to work in Blender, not without significant issues trying to select these things. So hence I didn't do that. Okay, this one thing was exported. I'm going to export the other thing with the top stitches. So I'll say outfit quads with top stitch. See how that works. This is the flipper normals. I like it. The normals flipper. Do you know, have I missed the joke? Probably have. You remember, I'm 20 seconds in the future, you know. Deforce it. Makes everything better. Deforce it. It makes everything better. There's actually a comment that I need to answer on. It's just one of my Marvelous Designer videos, and the question was, hey, why do you go through all this trouble in Marvelous Designer? Why don't you just do this in Deforce in Daz Studio? And I think the viewer had missed. So this is what I'm going to leave on here. Graphics and trims. Hit OK. Export that, and then we can compare them in Blender. And the viewer had missed that the deforce needs to be set up. It's not just there by default as it is in Marvelous Designer. So let me go get rid of this and import our garment again. Quads, everything else stays the same. And let's hope the normals issue is now corrected. Has it? Yes, it has. Almost. Almost. There's still one piece that didn't quite normalize itself. I don't know how big an issue that is. We could probably, it might be where sculpting comes in, possibly. I have a feeling it's just like the puffy bit that just went like this rather than like that. Is it fixable? Yeah, so literally those things need to be either inverted or just this is something I can probably do with the sculpting, possibly. Almost, see? Groovy. It's also probably something we don't have to worry too much about, because once we resimulate that, we might have other issues. But hey, that's kind of fixed, at least the look and feel of it here. Okay, so let me go make this invisible and see if Marvelous Designer has exported the other piece. It has. And go import that, and we just compare the statistics there, just for a laugh, with top stitches. See how much larger this actually is. You follow YouTube tutorial. Have fun. Don't make your brain go overboard. Go melt it. Happens to me quite a lot. Thanks for dropping by, Vampire. Or Dradai, should we say. Yes, I can tell by the loading times that Blender is processing a lot of data there. So This is the only tutorial you'll ever need for anything. I'll address everything. Us designers. Who's a designer, Sacred Sage? I'm so glad we went with the no top stitch option. Waiting for the computer to do things. That's, wow. But this is also a great example that shows how sometimes garments that you buy for $3, it's really the question: are they worth the hassle? You know, to make them usable in Daz Studio. So sometimes you think, well, why would I buy something for $20 on the Daz store when you can have something that looks just as good and maybe even better for $2 or $3? It's kind of the work that you have to put in order for that to come out at the other end. This is something really important to remember with products, that the money you pay for a product will save you time. So if you need to build like 10 renders, this is 3.3 million triangles, 3.2 million faces. That is dense, and this is just because of the top stitch. I mean, look, it looks beautiful, and it all came out. Let me go with the facial orientation. Get rid of that. Yeah, look at that. It looks absolutely magnificent. But it wouldn't be something you could use. I could, if it was exactly the same geometry, I could, and I don't know how to do this, I could turn this into normal detail. That'd be a kind of a cool test at one point. Use the normal detail from this and then bake it onto the lower res version and then bring in the detail that way. That is a possibility, but I have currently no idea how to do that. But that would then also mean the stitches would come out and all that. Very cool. But yeah, too much topology. Yes, that would be something to look into, John. I think that would be really, really cool. Tug, it does. We didn't need to flip the normals. It was a selection issue. It was not quite as easy as just flipping the normals. But yes, that would do it indeed. Yes, it would. That would flip the normals on a selection. Absolutely right. It was the bigger issue was selecting them in the first place, selecting the faces that needed that. So let's say we're happy with this. Let's go on to UV mapping then, and renaming surfaces to see what's what. Let's perhaps do UV mapping first. Hello. Also, save, Jay, save. Very important. Let's go save stuff. So this could be for the blend files, perhaps. But I'll just put them in here. That's no, I'm going to make a new folder just for blend files here. Blend files. There could be many of them. So outfit v1 is still the going name here. Web Soul is here. How's it going? That would be good, wouldn't it? Do you know, I've found something. Oh, maybe I can quickly show you that in an excursion, and we'll see how this garment would. This is a good demo for that. I found something that's called Instant Meshes. Have you heard of that? It's a free and open source tool that lets you essentially evaluate something and then draw where you'd like the topology flow to be, and then click a button and it just generates the new vertices for that. It's very, very cool. I've only just discovered it yesterday, or like this week. Maybe I'll tell you more about that later. If you're interested in retopology, Instant Meshes is the way to go. So in an ideal world, just to pack this is what Marvelous Designers made. To pack this is literally as simple as UV and then pack islands. And that's a much better UV. unwrapping. I do have a little tool. There's on the bottom here, you can say, do you want them to rotate or not? There's a few options here. I have a tool that's called UV Packmaster that does an even better calculation. I think if I just say pack, it just goes, it takes a little longer and tries to make it even more efficient. So in our case, it didn't really make a difference. But there are tools that make this even more efficient. So if the pattern pieces would be smaller, you basically see everything is like filled out there. It's extremely efficient. But I think for our purposes, this is fine. I don't know if UV Packmaster really added all that much to it, but you know, and either way will work fine. That's UV mapping. Was there something else? Surfaces. Yes, surfaces. Let's have a quick nosy and just rename these things here in edit mode. Let's see. So trousers. Maybe we'll rename that to trousers. Or just maybe a vest, perhaps, or straps, something like that. Straps and vest, how's that? Straps and vest, check. Then we have plank front. Oh, that's the plank, is it? Oh, okay. Maybe kind of collar and trims. Oops. Collar and trims. And I'm renaming that because it gets rid of this number here, and it's also the same that we'll see in Daz Studio later. Silk double Georgette front. Wow, that is okay. That's that. Maybe I'll just call that one blouse. Sleeve front. And all I'll do is here to deselect it and then pick the material and hit select, and then it'll slow up here. It'll slow up. Let's just call that sleeves. Trousers copy. So deselect that, then go select this, and then oh, I see. Oh, this could be... I wonder if that could come in handy. I'm just thinking ahead of into Substance Painter. If this could come in handy as a map we can use for the stitch generator. What do you think? Midjourney, Deviant, yes, I think we're all excited about Midjourney. It's kind of depressing to see that the computers are getting more creative than us people. And they're just so much more patient. I might just call this Stitch Guide. Not that I... This might just be handy later in... Oh, I see. This is the back of the straps. Oh, it's the inside of the straps. That's what this is. Now that I look at it from another angle. Straps inside. Okay, fine. Straps inside. Wow, we have trousers copy front. What might that be? Didn't we just have something like that? No, I guess we didn't. This gotta be the bottoms, I'll call it. Bottoms. Bottoms up. Plank copy. What's this? Ah, I see. Those are the kind of the corset straps, I say. And then delete front. I like it. These are the holes. This is just for essentially turning these invisible and turning a little rivet around it. Is that all? I think it is. I think it is. So we call those rivets then. Okay, so that's our material setup. Kemi, how's the hospital yesterday? Everything good? I hope it was. I had assumed you were just a visitor rather than the patient. Okay, so just for a laugh, let's see what happens if I export this out and have a look at it in Daz Studio and see how it aligns with the avatar there. And then we'll see if we needed to go back, do other stuff. I'll put this also into OBJs maybe. And this is going to be outfit V2. Oh yeah, and this scale is going to be 100 so that it will keep vertex order. I don't think we need that right now. I might just go and enable it anyway. We have the normals and we have the materials, and we include the UV, so it's all good. Polygroups, I don't think we have. So you might as well include them. Why not? Oh, it is! Dang, I was zoomed in! Oh man, this is super terrible. And us being so far apart in regards to time, what a waste of time. Thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. Better late than never. I'm so sorry about that. Dang! Happens all the time. I should do less zooming, you know? Less zooming. Just stay on the full screen, Jay. It's all good. Or zoom in quick and then go back. Dang! Yes, indeed, that is exactly what happens. That is exactly what happens. Let me go bring in what looked like the Genesis 8 character here. Eight thankfully looks the same as 8.1. So if we wanted to change our minds and change her back to an 8.1 character, we can totally do that. Jay's in his streaming bubble. I'm just glad that you that you brought it to my attention. And I was literally just renaming the material zone, so it's not anything that was extremely exciting. Kemi already got bored, got himself a beer, so it's one of those things. That's what I'm known for, boring the audience. There, so 100 is good. So it doesn't fit completely. So that's something else I could try just for a laugh. What happens if we were to export our Genesis character and just see how Marvelous Designer reacts if we were to simulate the garment. So sometimes you get really bad surprises. I kind of have a feeling this would be one of those. Outfit V2, here are all our beautiful surfaces that we've set up. So they've all come across. Do we have any face groups? No, just one default. That's cool. Yeah, so just out of curiosity, what would have happened, and what would have happened if I go and export Genesis 8 just as an avatar in Marvelous Designer, so G8F. High res, low res doesn't matter in this case. I'm just going to use high res here. Filter. And we want no maps. 100%. Let's see. Like this. So if we go and deselect like just remove the avatar, and then doesn't help that every 3D app has other viewport navigation things. Import add OBJ, Genesis 8, and we want to add as avatar in centimeters. And do not press this button because it's all, you know, disaster. I do not, Tux, because I rarely use it. I should really do that. Chris does that. Chris is clever that way. So in an ideal world, we just hit the space bar, sit back, let it simulate, and everything looks perfect. Sometimes what happens is that garments that are really heavy like this with all the top stitching and stuff, also layered things that have multiple layers, they behave really badly. So I should have really done that. Should have really been my first step to just check, does this work? How does it come out? And because there's so much to simulate, it really isn't a pleasure to watch, to experience. Yeah, so all this top stitching stuff here, this could cause issues. It either needs a really long time to settle down, or it'll just completely explode. That can also happen. So this is already an indication that maybe for my fitting on a custom avatar, I'm not going to go back to the original garment. I'm just going to use the thing that has much less geometry, like not 3.5 million. It now has like more like 150,000 to simulate that here. Omniverse, I think Brian and I were trying something that lets you paint a picture with AI elements. That was kind of cool. That was kind of cool, Deviant, but I don't know if I've looked at Omniverse. I don't think I don't think I have. Also, do let me know if the chat overlay on the screen gets in the way. I have the capacity to switch that off. If you'd rather watch the screen than the burnt in chat, you do let me know. Yeah, hey, look, all these straps here, all the top stitching, this is all totally falling apart. So I'm going to stop the simulation here because I know this is going to end. This isn't going to end well. So this has basically now ruined the garment. Just hitting the spacebar has now ruined the garment. It's not something that you'd expect to happen. Yet in our case, it has happened. So let's see what were to happen if we go make a new file. I don't think I want to save that unless I go Control Z. Can I do that? Yes, that works. That works. Since I haven't actually made any other changes here, I don't think I need to save anything, do I? I might just go back to... I think I flipped the normals, haven't I? Let's bring in the original avatar again. No. Fine, I'll just go and make another. I'll save that again. Just in case I need to go back to that. So outfit, this is now V2. So I'll try to bring in my... I'm not going to deforce it, Kemi. It's not going to be deforced. Trust me, it won't be deforced. Promise, won't be deforced. Not going to use it in deforce. It's just for a render. It's not supposed to be... It's not going to be... It's not going to be a usable Daz garment as such. I'm going to go and add my avatar. And not actually like that at all. I meant import OBJ. Open avatar. Don't worry about arrangement points. And then I'll go import OBJ to garment. This is it here, outfit V2. That's the one we imported from Blender. And I think that was also at Daz scale now. And that. Miss Christina is here. How are you doing? Very good to see you. Very good to see you. How have you been? Let's see how that simulates. If it simulates at all. Fingers crossed. Victorious music in the background. Good to see you. Tuck, I think that is still there. I think. Do you mean the fitting suit option? Because that is rad stuff. So this looks like it works. Aside from some niggly bits here, but yeah, it does work. It does work. This is still thinking about it here. But in principle it works. So and it works much better than the original garment actually works. So that's good to know. Just still thinking about it. Oh yeah, this, I think I could have probably adjusted her arms a little bit better so that they poke through here. That's good to know. Yeah, this here at the back, that hasn't quite worked all right, but so we can change that later. So, but the draping certainly works better than with the top stitch. Other option is to remove all the top stitches on the original garment. That's another possibility, I guess. But I think for what I'm aiming for, I think this is probably going to work okay. I don't think we're going to see the back, so this is just a little adjustment with the vertex editor. Oh, also the buttons haven't come in, so that's terrible as well. So yeah, that's another possibility. I might spend some quality time with that. But for now, I think I'm okay here. I think I just, for the better fit here. Let's see, garment, make that unselectable. And just select her, whoops, wrong tool. Select her arm. And just go move all that to kind of here-ish. That bend, so if that slider is isn't working well, could also probably just use this here. Is this bend as well? Yes. That's probably going to help Marvelous Designer out a little bit. I don't know what the original avatar's pose was, but that's gonna help. I'll go make this a little less sensitive here. Still too sensitive. And then maybe bring this down. Is that it? Yeah, perfect. Like so. Groovy. Other side. There, okay, that'll be nice for fitting later. Let me go and save this. And then we'll crack on with a few simple materials in Substance Painter. Let's see how well that works, how much I can remember of that. Total new stuff to me as well. Oh, Daz scenes rather. There. MS Dosser, very good to see you. Hello, hello. Hey, that is good to hear. Thank you so much for dropping by. Always nice to see new people in the stream. Welcome, welcome. We have a little bit of a stream chat delay today because I accidentally didn't tick a box that I've been meaning to tick. The one that was called ultra low latency I totally didn't do that. I'll go and save this, or just in case, before I do anything. So we don't really need Marvelous Designer anymore at the moment, but let's go try our luck with the Substance Painter. Do various exports from Daz Studio so that we can go and use this thing for materials. So yes, that means I'm kind of 20 to 30 seconds in the future, so that by the time you see something that I've done right or wrong, or you comment on something that I'm doing, then it'll take me about 30 seconds to actually arrive here, and then it'll take me another 30 seconds to read it. So keep that in mind. I do apologize. Usually it's you know, usually I react much quicker. It's not that I'm slow today. Why the long names? They're descriptive, Kemi. Isn't that obvious? Isn't that obvious? Like, you know, garment 1 doesn't describe what's in it. Or scene 1 doesn't really describe what's in it. That's why. That is why. Yeah, I've changed my mind. I might just go and try to no, I'm just gonna go do the materials. I'll do the materials. I should be able to do that just from the garment that I've saved, haven't I? And mine was just called Outfit V2. And document resolution, I'll use 2K. I think I'll use OpenGL, I think. I don't have any maps in this case. Let's see how this goes. That is just good coding standards. That's absolutely correct. WebSoul gets me. WebSoul totally gets me. Hey, nice job on your newfound Blender knowledge, by the way. I really appreciate that. Very good. It's just really that. I think therein lies all the fun, to go and learn something from a tutorial, then go and apply that to your next render with a little puddle. Very good. Very, very good. Upsize. Yeah, I'll use 2K. 2K is good. 2K is alright. And let's go bake things. Oh, no, you see, this is the one with materials. I totally forgot about this. Abort. Let's go and export this from here, just the garment, and then make that outfit without mats. That is what I should have done. So I'll say outfit V2, no mats, so that we don't get into trouble with the Substance Painter here. So I'll say not right surfaces. There we go. That is the thing that Substance Painter needs to bake. Otherwise, I create all these material zones, or these texture sets. So sorry about that. It's always something else, isn't there? Outfit V2, no mats. To OpenGL, boom. No. And the Chris is here. How's Mr. Chris today? I've learned so many funky tricks. This is one of those tricks that Chris told me about in a recent stream. Just to make really nice looking ID maps, he says, just smuggle a couple of zeros in here, as many zeros as you can on the max frontal and max red distance, and then those ID maps are just going to be so much nicer. Mr. Chris, wonderful to see you. Sadly, I couldn't make it to your stream yesterday. Let me give you a shout out. Very, very good to see you. And Mr. Yoshi is here too. Remy, how you doing? My goodness, I've missed so many people in the chat. I do apologize. Okay. How's this looking? There are no ID maps. Dang! Do you know why? Because I forgot something else. I've forgotten to color in the material now. On the outfit, we have this funky script that does that. I think that's under utilities. This here. random color all items there. I should have done that, and now Substance Painter could have actually baked an ID map. So outfit v2 no mats. I'll do that again. Yes, let's go overdo that. And this is all. This now I actually need to export that twice, don't I? So with the materials and without materials. I'll call this one ID mats. And then this here just needs to be that. No maps, just the colors. As it's all coming back to J. There. Okay, let's third time lucky here. Third time lucky. Yes. Third time lucky. So I use the Nomads version to load, right? I think. Dude, this is good practice. It's good practice. You just got to do these things like 170,000 times. Then that's that. That's that. New project, no discards, all good. As Jay eventually gets it, 2029. When the industry is using a different standard. So then we go edit bake mesh maps. Save before Daz freezes. That is save before hell freezes over. Now I'll load my with mats thing in here. With ID mats. Then I go change this. I think. And then I go bake everything, right? I think. Do we ID map? Yes! Good stuff. Oh, that only took 20 minutes. That's not bad. I like it. So ID map is definitely with us. Yes. That is very, very nice. Whew. I do take your advice on the saving front though. Outfit, that's the appropriate name for that. Everything's called outfit, just has a different ending. Right. Now, materials. What does the original look like then? That is white. Oh, actually, we can probably have a look at the original bump map. I'm sure it's just a bump map. It doesn't really have colors in it. Do we have MD open still? Yes, but not the project. Otherwise, I could probably just use the same bump map, but I can also just make it up, I guess, as I go along. This is kind of a little see-through, and this just has a pattern on it, I suppose. See what we can do. See what we can find. Baseball hat fabric. Bamboo fabric, that might be a nice pattern. Knitted sweater. Rough fabric. Any recommendations for fabric? Do let me know. Denim might be good. Vintage. Vintage is good. I could use vintage for that. Interlacing embossed velvet, also nice. Floral lace fabric, that might be good. But it might also be a bit busy. So I don't know if I have kind of lacy material. I'd like to use that for this top here. See if I can find anything else on the Substance marketplace. Leather. Leather is not... I don't think we need leather. Scarf wool. Stitches. Stitches. Maybe the vintage here. Vintage might be groovy if I go and put that on things like this here on the bottom. And then maybe ever so slightly change the scale of this. I'm thinking. Oops. I always think tab is get on with it, but it's not the case. Yeah, maybe just around 6 here. 6 for just for this bottom bit here. With color selection like this here. And maybe actually for this as well. I don't know if that's going to look good or if we need to have a variation of that on there. So maybe that's already all we need. So we find something like a lacy material for this and like a variation of that for the puffed up pieces. Perhaps that's all we need for a handsome render, I'm thinking. You're an older gent and you just got your coffee. Yeah, I'm gonna refill my coffee actually. I don't know what a clown pass material actually is, Kemi. I have no idea. I have no idea. Let's see if we can find something exciting on the Substance marketplace here for lace. Let's see. Oh, that Creative Cloud app, I really don't like it. Just make it dark already. I think I might use the website instead. Oh, they've made it dark. Oh, that's nice. Phew. Thanks, Adobe. Creative Cloud, I like it. Keep that coffee going. What could possibly go wrong? Imagine you put a search option. Oh, there. That's where you search. So, as the flower stitch, rip stitch knit. My goodness, they have good stuff here, don't they? It's probably a little uneven for that very fine gabardine type look. Even before we search, there's so much stuff and it changes every day, doesn't it? Let's see what happens when we try lace. If lace is even what I'm looking for. It is not. Dirty lace towel. How about gabardine? Do you have that? Gabardine. Does that exist? That's probably not quite how you spell it. No, it kind of is. It just they don't have it. Good stuff. So how about fabric then? Let's keep it like super vague. Yeah, bit of tartan here. That's good. Polypropylene. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. Leopard fabric, also good. And failing all that, I can just try to find just a normal map. Acrylic woven fabric. Look at that, very cool. You don't like it? Okay, interesting. I have, Deviant, I have. Absolutely. Yes, I've used that. It works okay. It's not perfect, but it does certainly work. So it's not like, I mean, it's trying really hard to trace the UV patterns, but they're not like as perfect as they would be if you had a Marvelous Designer pattern with properly laid out patterns. But it does a really good job at trying its best. So if you have an outfit and you wanted to add sleeves or something to it, then that's a really good option to do that. Maybe this here. I'll try that and then I'll get rid of the red. Silk fabric grit, that might be kind of cool. See how that goes. Synthetic fabric plain weave, I might try that as well. Car fabric. Dotted lines. Yeah, there's so much stuff, isn't there? Is the music getting a little bit annoying here? There's always that one track, isn't there, where you think, I'd rather not. Also, we can always go back to my classics, you know, I like my classics. Dreamy Beats, LGR Jazz, Quiet Piano Things. Dreamy Beats 2, how about that? Let's do that. Torn Dirty Fabric Debris. Wow. Oolong or Earl Grey. Julia drinks tea. She likes the smell of coffee, but she drinks tea, but only very rarely. So Julia doesn't like caffeine very much. And Kemi is so right, green tea has the same properties as coffee. So especially strong green tea is often, there's more oomph in it than in coffee. Well, maybe we'll try out the ones that we've downloaded here. So they are now in my downloads folder. Let me see if I can import those. Add resources. Download these two. So silk fabric and synthetic fabric plain. I thought there was a third one. Guess there wasn't. Those are indeed fabrics, and I want to put them into, in fact, my assets. Let's do that. The silk fabric and synthetic something. So let's see if I can drag this here out onto here. Yes. I like it. I like that it has that transparency in there already as well. That's kind of neat. Maybe 60 is a little much. I was more thinking like 5 or so. And then also the color isn't really, so I had more bargain for something like, you know, like that. There's still a little bit of color in here that I don't know where that comes from. What would that look like on the just the sleeves? Yeah, that doesn't really, that's not what we're looking for. Not what we're looking for, I'm afraid. Even when it's made smaller, and it's not what we're looking for. Okay, no worries. Was worth a shot. How about the other one? Synthetic plain fabric something weave. Let's try that. It's a little strong as well. It's not really the look I had hoped I'd achieve. Other option is I could try, what other options do you think I could try? Anything else, like any type of material that springs to mind that might work? Something that looks a little bit like lace, but more something like, you know, plain. Even, you know, stylized wool. That might work just for the normal map. I suppose the other one I could try is tulle. Is that how you spell it? That might work. Polyamide, could try that. Let's try that. Chiffon, let me try that. Yeah, that's a good idea as well. Chiffon. One result. Gotcha. Polyester chiffon silver. I think I have that already in my library. Let's see. So polyester chiffon silver. Let's try that. That with a different color. That might just be what the doctor ordered. 10 points. Shift exactly. 3D Megaverse and Tuck both had it. Very cool. And then instead of dark gray, we're just making it a little bit lighter. You both had it. Very good. Maybe I'll also use that. Use 6 here and see how that works. So on here and on the top, and then we can use yet another material on for these bits here. For that, let's see if lace actually works for that. Let's try that. Oop. Does this work? And then just make that really small. See if that would do the trick. Maybe even smaller. Maybe. Let's try color selection like this. Well, it's done all of them. Oh, this is also part of that. Oh, that's ugly, isn't it? So maybe we can put this here together with that. Otherwise, it might look a little ridiculous. We'll see. I might make it even smaller than that. Then it looks. This could be the size. Let me try in 4K. See if that looks any better. It gives Substance Painter a second to calculate this. Tug, yes, good point. I was going to give her like a bra underneath it, so that we don't scare the children, as John says, which I like. Good expression, that. Oh, really? Did they? Dang, Kemi. Still thinking about it. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like this. The lace thing at all. I'm not sure if I like this. If I like this particular lace. See if there's anything on the community marketplace. Was that it? Community assets. What has the community done with lace or chiffon? That's the only thing in lace we have. How about the chiffon we have? If I was better organized, I would just know exactly which normal map to go to and it'll just look great, but that chiffon doesn't even exist. No, in the community assets. Dang! What a shame. Or maybe this here, the spiky stuff. Well, maybe I'll just leave everything as it is and I'll just try to bring this into Daz Studio and see what it looks like. Is it, how bad / good would it be if I just go and undo this and then let's try to look for another material that would work for here. Something else. Maybe just like cotton technical fabric, and then we'll change the color of that. I think I'm still in in 4K here. I'll go back to 2K. It just makes Substance Painter a little bit easier to respond to all my requests here. If we say 6, and then rather than color being that, we just make it like an off-white. I don't know about all the spots, but I'm just kind of hoping that they're going to go away. Do we have something that is not currently textured? Like this stuff here? Don't think there is. Well, let's assume this is what we like. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that looks like rendered. Can we go and have a quick nosy at this in Iray inside here? I'm also half thinking, so we don't think we want that anymore. Well, I'll just leave it in invisible. I'm thinking of turning the UVs on this around a little. And then maybe making this a little smaller still. And also a little darker. What's rotation look like on there? Yeah, it's also interesting. Put a little arbitrary rotation on this. Different material options all around, huh? Salt is the best salt. I like it. Tool, Deviant, I tried to look for that, but I didn't find it. Bizarrely, it's just that nobody had any tool, which is bizarre. 0 views and 1 like. Hey, congrats. That is quite an achievement, I have to say. It happens, doesn't it? Yeah, good question, WebSol. I usually have them in, I store all the files that I make, like OBJs and substance files and DAZ scenes and textures that are necessary for these things. I put them all into one folder, and each folder has like a sub categorization of that. So if I go and, like in this case here, this is called like woman's outfit is the main folder, and in it we have blend files and DAZ scenes, and then these are the OBJ files, and then things that are a little bit more exotic like the MD files and the substance project files. I sometimes just put them in the top folder unless there's more than one. Like blend files, I had assumed there'd be more than one. And then in here I'll also then have a folder for textures or maps, I usually call that. I'll just call it textures for now. There could be two different things, maps and textures, and another one would then be the renders, and then I have another one for PSD files. So I'll create them if and when, but it means I can just go and archive this folder off if I don't need the project anymore, if I want to put it on an external hard drive or on Dropbox or something. Yeah, that's how I do it. So that way it keeps it all together. And then usually also this folder here, I tend to map that inside Daz Studio, so that when I go and export something out like a prop file or something, that it can then go and create a data folder in here, and then I can derive the project from there later on. Jet or crepe? Do you know what? Let me look those up. That sounds great. Let me see if I can find something in here. Jet. Let me see that. I've never heard of that. That sounds really, really good. Jet. No, that doesn't exist. But the other one. Where was it now? Oh, it scrolled away. No, there it is. Crepe. 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 Oh, French crepe. Look at that. Crepe. Crepe elastine soft. Ew. I will try both of them. Organza. Ooh, okay. Thank you. I'll just go download these and... Elastine rough and soft. I love it. I want to download all of them. I don't know what to do with all my credits. There's also the French crepe. That's great. I need to see that as well. Groovy. Did you say organza? Thank you for the tips. I appreciate that. Organza they don't have. Dang. Organza they didn't have. But that's good. I'm going to go and try those things out. Maybe even like, you know, right now. Since we're kind of happy with all these. Oh, that was that. I'll leave that on there for now. These are kind of the sleeves here. So I'll go and I'll see if I can try it on that. In fact, on those things. Yeah, so sometimes, John, this can happen when people go to your video, they don't play it back, but they leave a like just because they want to remember, hey, that's a video I want to watch later. It's a variation on the whole watch later front. Let's see, all those are fabrics. I'm going to put them in my Your Assets library, just so that they don't go away. Crepe elastine rough. Bring it on. Ooh, okay. That's rough. Yes, that'll certainly work. Just for the normals, just for that bumpiness effect here. Or actually just for the main body here, I'm now thinking. That would be really nice for the main body. Let's go and get rid of that. And like you have this. This and that. That might really work. That's a really neat variation. I should go and put those into folders here. Let's go group that. And just call that dark gray, perhaps, for now. Yeah, especially if we go and tone the material a little bit. I like it. Elastine crepe fabric. So just let me try crepe on here. Oh, that's crepe. I like it. I like it. Nice normal map. Perhaps not what we're looking for. How about polyester crepe satin? Oop. Hours of fun. Also not bad. Thanks for the tips. This is really, really cool. For the 7 different color variations that we can come up with. Oh no, we didn't want to do that. We wanted to do this, right? Oh, and then also I think lace we decided against. This here, where's my previous material gone? Why is it? It's not got crepe on here though, does it? Does it? Oh, it does. Oh, okay, gotcha. What was that called before? Does anyone remember? I think, have I just saved it? I don't quite remember. Dang. I forgot now. Dang, Kemi doesn't get a shout out. What a shame. Okay, more music also, very important. Maybe my other dreamy beats. There. Yeah, that's gone now, isn't it? What a shame. Do you remember undo steps? Is there an undo history here somewhere? History, yes, there is. You do remember. See when it comes back. There we go. I think we're kind of back here. Whew. Thanks, history window. You cannot be commanded. Ah. Wow. Organdie and voile and charmeuse are very similar poly-style fabrics. They are see-through. I think good stuff. My goodness, so much stuff to learn. I'll stick with what I have for now, and I'll see if I can go and put this into Daz Studio so that we can go do one last sim and maybe get a quick render out of this. So we had this that had the slightly turned fabric here. Lace we decided not to use, and then this was just the top part of here, which I'm actually not quite sure about. I'm not entirely sure if I wanted to use this or just use... now it doesn't really show me. I'm going to go and try this here, the crepe that you suggested before. Maybe that on the collar with a little bit of a smaller version. That might work. Does this not work when I go and say I want to just replace that? Isn't that, does that not? Yeah, that totally works. That totally works, and it's still got the same UV mapping and all that. I think it has. Okay. All I like for that is not to be pink, so just a bit of an off-white is okay. Right, so let's see if and how that comes out in Daz Studio. Oh, actually, just a render here. Can't we just do that in here? In like this. Iray inside Substance Painter. Let's see. Explode the thing with D-Force. Iray warm up, it says. Ooh, okay. That's what it looks like on the outside, is it? And we didn't do any stitches or buttons or whatever. Does it look like up close? Yeah, subdivision surface modifier, make it a little smoother looking. Let's add some buttons as rigid follow nodes. Maybe we're okay. Well, suggestions for custom characters we wanted to try this out with. Do let me have it. Oh, did we? Is there no material on here? No, there is material on here. It's just barely visible. Yeah, so these folds are probably going to come out better when we add a subdivision modifier. His even, indeed. His even. Right. Save. Export stuffs. I'll see if I can remember how to do that. So file, export textures perhaps. Is that how we do that? And then we go on the output template. I'm sticking with PBR metallic roughness here. Like that. And I don't think we want the metallic map. I don't think we have anything metallic. We could do with the height. We don't have emissive, so I don't need that. We do, however, I think, want an opacity map. And I think we're deriving this from the opacity channel. I think. Do we? No? Okay. Oh, you're thinking about it? I can't tell. From opacity, and we just go from alpha channel. Then there we go. Yeah, alpha channel. I think. I currently don't exactly know. Well, we'll figure out. We'll figure it out. Switch the normal format to OpenGL. Have I not done that? I thought I did that when I started the project. Where do you see that? Not normals here. Yeah, I think the OpenGL is already on there. I think. Good point, though. Very good point. Yes, very wise. The Kevin is here from the MIU Studios. How you doing, buddy? Output directory. Also, yeah, that we want to go and remove that. We also want to export that in 4K, I think, because, you know, we're all about quality. And yes, it's kind of working. I like it. What does that look like? Opacity map. Is that something usable? I believe the answer is no. Let's try that again on the opacity map. So this is the base color. I can see that being reasonable. Normal map certainly has something on it. That's good. That's going to help us out. Does it? Okay. We'll go back to work on that. How do you see that? I mean, when I go to my output templates here, so I can now go and drag the DirectX onto this, so I can do that from, I say, RGB channels, and that's DirectX. But OpenGL is what we need. I don't think there's anything I can drag onto this here. Can I? Oh, there we go. Oh, I see. So when it has the color on it, that is what's associated. Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you. I had no idea. This is a total mystery to me. So then also here the opacity. Let me go and drag this on here and say we want this from the gray channel then. Just go try to export this again. See if that's any better. I'm trying my best, Kevin. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. Opacity. Does that look better now? I can't tell. We'll just see what it looks like in Daz Studio. Always good to change that around. Base shouldn't have changed. Normal, I can't really read the normal. Do we have anything in the height map? We don't, so we can ditch it. That's cool. Don't need the height map. Just thought, you know, we'll have a look. So height can be ditched because I don't think we need it. Normal is enough. It's, you know, less maps is more. Okay. Right. So this then, I'll go and I could just go bring in the new outfit. I could also just go and actually fit it to the character before I do that. Yeah, let me do that. Let me do that. I don't recall if we had, whoops, if we had, this was that outfit, wasn't it? I don't think I changed anything here. All it needed was the material. So, and a little bit of additional fitting here. Oop. Come on. Let's drag that out and then bring that out. And this is one of those moments where I wish I had a much faster CPU. Did we? Oh no, actually we didn't put the, oh I remember now. We didn't put the new A-post avatar into this, did we? G8F, we need to have this post version here. I could add, you know, I'm gonna go on. A pose modified, I could say to fit the garment, but I won't do that because that'll be just, you know, too long. Add as avatar, I think. Oops. Daz Studio wasn't quite, was it? Oh no, that's the arrangement points. I didn't mean to do that. Add as avatar, there we go. Why with the green boxes? I don't even know what that is. Those are the arrangement points, but I didn't say I wanted to generate them. Did I? Okay, new project. I'll start again here. I'm suspect of this. Deviant, I have a dual Xeon E5 2670. So not bad, but of course always too slow. Let me go and add my avatar. I just start basically from scratch. So with the modified A pose here, so that it just fits that. Add. Oh no, because is it because I'm doing this wrong? Am I saying, oh, import add? That's it, isn't it? Just, you know, doubting myself here multiple times. Eon and Xeon with Lion. What does that mean? How do I get rid of these bounding boxes? Do I need to restart Marvelous Designer? We've not seen this before, have we? I'm suspect. I don't want to see them. How do we disable that? Visible in the viewport. Where might that be? Or maybe here? Show bounding, but yeah, totally don't want to do that. Thank you. When I say show avatar, it just goes away and removes the avatar. That's it. Quality render. We don't want to do that either. Just show the avatar. Don't show the bounding boxes. Like that! Ah, there we go. Thank you guys. Thank you for being patient with me. So modified A pose, import my OBJ to garment again, which is then this one here. V2. Add as garment. We can try it just for a laugh. I can go and try to trace the patterns from the UV map. I think you were asking about that earlier, Deviant. Just see what it comes up with and how closely it gets it right. So sometimes it can't do it if the UVs are too close together, I think, or if it can't infer what's where. But it's certainly trying, so it's always good to experiment. There we go. Could not recognize UV border, so yeah, it's some things it just gets wrong. And I tend not to use that because even if it does get it right, it doesn't really look good. But it's trying hard, so it's made the materials here, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, so it does, it has done something. It's not perfect, but it's okay. So it's, it is trying to do stuff. Certainly trying. It's put sewing lines in it and stuff. So I don't think it's going to be working for me. If I just for a laugh, if we go and simulate this, it might do really weird things here. Let me go do this with GPU simulation just so that we get a little bit of work done here today. Just a tiny bit. Dang, brother, that's cold. I suppose it has the patterns, but it doesn't know where to sew what, so you'd have to go and put those sewing lines in manually. Hey, we tried. We tried. Serious wardrobe malfunction. I'll try it again, OBJ from garment, and I'm not going to do that this time. Yeah, you have to stitch them manually, indeed, yes. It's so funny, I'm now seeing the garment falling apart on my return coming back. I've literally, in reality, I've already loaded in the next garment. Ah, dear. Oop, the thing at the back just whoops popped off, but that's okay. The loose little thing. But that's okay. We can always remove that later. This was also GPU simulation, so that's not as accurate as CPU simulation. But the arms are in the correct position, so let's see if CPU can just settle this down, and then we can go bring this into Daz Studio, hopefully. Oh, that strap's falling down here. I'm not going to change that either because I only have so much patience and so much time left on this planet for experiments like this. So you gotta draw the line at some point. Also, we probably want to fit this on a kind of a custom character. Let's try that as well. So say this is the fitted garment now. I'll say G8 fit, and if we go, since I've messed with the colors here, I can leave this garment here, can't I? Can I? Yes, and then just import that as a morph target. Let's try to give her a bit of a different character here. Just make her. Like, in fact, just use people. I'll just give her something a little fuller, like make a mix between Olympia and Monique, maybe. Like that. That's certainly different. Head shape we can worry about later. Let me go and save that out as a custom character. So I'll say here custom character. And then we'll see if Marvelous Designer recognizes this as the morph target here. Let's see. Import OBJ custom character. The add indeed as morph target over 60 frames. Let's see if that works. We've saved everything, so. Oh, Tuck, please do. And do get in touch, please, about the Animorph script. Please do that. And we'll be super interested in the Marvelous Designer to Daz script. That'd be really good. Can you imagine one day you'll have something like a bi-directional bridge? That'd be cool. They do have Go Z, so ZBrush to Marvelous Designer, but it doesn't really work. I tried it out. It was extremely underwhelming. I don't really know what the benefit was, because you can't bring it back as a morph target, or I didn't quite know how to do it properly. Are we still simulating here? I think we are. I think it's changed a little bit. I don't know if it's still doing that. The change was so subtle after all, I didn't actually see it. This thing is still falling down here, so I might remove that in Daz Studio. It's in the Daz forums. Okay. Is that the updated version, Tuck? So sorry you can't post links. You can, I think you can post a link on it. You can try to post a link in a comment on this. So not in the chat, put it as a comment on this video. And under my topic, okay, I have a topic. How exciting. I didn't know that either. I'm not in the forums very often. You can always post the link as a comment on this video. It'll still get eaten by YouTube, but if it's there, I'll totally have a look at that. I know where to look. It's there for like 30 days before YouTube kind of eats it. There we go. I think that's done it. That's done it. Okay, so let me try and export this out now. Technically, I should be able to just go and grab this out as a brand new outfit here. And the custom fit. Let's try that. All patterns, single object thin. Let's see if it works. I'll just make this one invisible for now and just give her that brand new outfit. MD custom fit. That isn't fit. Where is it? Oh, it's a little tiny. Gotcha. Ah, there we go. The correct size. Much better. Okay, good. Yeah, we can probably get away with this being follower clothing instead of a fitted affair, but we'll deal with that in a second. So let's go add some exciting maps to this whole affair. So there were only these except for height, so I'll just go and take these out here and put them into my textures directory here so that their sums were safe. I could also go and rename them. I'm just going to go and do this for a little test. Do we even have Iray properties? We do. Yeah, that's a good start, isn't it? So let's go and put this on the base. Like maybe base on the base. Yes. Normal goes on the normal. That's on not, that's also on the base, on the bump. Like so. One might be enough, might not be. We'll see. Then we have roughness. That's under glossy. Reflection. Glossy roughness. That goes into here. And that also goes on so that there's no more shine. And then we have opacity. That's over here. Opacity. There, a little bit of opacity. We've lost the material zones now, of course, but that's, you know, that's okay. Material appears to be everywhere. Does it look okay with default Iray light? Let's see. Jackie, wonderful to see you. Hello, hello. Camilla has never been mad. Ooh, maybe we need to speak to her man about this. Maybe he's seen her mad. I hope not. I like the fact that we haven't seen Camilla mad. It's totally okay with me. So if we wanted to control some of these properties, we really need our materials. So I'll go and import this as a morph target on, like instead, onto the original shirt, and then we can set up these materials again. I can still save this out, I think, as a kind of a shader here, and then just apply that to all the material zones, and then we can control the opacity a little more and make the top a little more see-through, like it was in the original. But I think, you know, it's working. It's working in principle. I like it. So let's pick a pose and then do this again, and then essentially go and turn a little render out. How's that? Right, Tuck? I'm thinking that as well. He hasn't seen you mad either. Only 4 people have. Your mom, your brother, your best friend, and your son's dad. Okay. This is good. This is good. I'm happy. I'm happy. It's, you know, we're getting somewhere. It's a long, tedious process, but we are getting somewhere. So this here was the original outfit. Let me just go and try to use the morph loader to get that custom morph into here. Custom fit, and definitely was reverse deformations here. I think everything else was as it was, and yes, successful. It's like super awesome. Because I didn't do the scale. Gotcha. No worries. I knew there was something else. Scale. It's custom fit. And then here individual schnick schnack. Like that. You could also, great tip from John, by the way, if you do have this Blender versus Daz scale, instead of typing in a number like Chris and I do, you can just use the modal preset. That'll do the same thing. That'll kind of correct the scale into what you need it to be. That's kind of nice. Morph subdivision, no. Override existing, hell yes. And it was reverse deformations, yes. So if you're not good with numbers, this Modo is essentially the Blender import option to a certain extent. Yes, look at that. Oh, sweet. I like it. You have to go. Okay, no worries. The TP Center. Okay. Have a great time, Christina. It's really, really nice to see you up and about again. It's really cool. We should have a chat if you're up for it at one point, and just catch up on a Discord voice chat or a text chat. Let me know how you feel up to it. I remember your voice wasn't you know, up to much. So yeah, please do get in touch. It's wonderful to see you up and about, but do it in your own time. It's just, you know, it's just nice to know that you're around, and you know, that's all really. And thanks for hanging. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Let me go and grab my material here, like copy selected surface. This was on the old material, and this is like the new material now, where we have all these funky materials. If I go and paste all that into here, does that work? Yes, it does. Look at that. So now we have all our material properties. Hoping it looks pretty much the way we want it to. Just checking that. Christina McKay, everyone. So nice. Great. So then, like here, if I wanted to make this, unselect you, this is selectable, and this ding, that here, blouse. If I wanted to make that a bit more see-through, under geometry opacity, we're just going to turn that to 0.8 or something. See if that works. 0.7 or whatever feels right, thanks to our material zones. Does it ever get see-through? Yeah, there we go. So it's just gray underneath it, so that's very difficult to see. So maybe 0.6. We'll leave it at that. Groovy. Okay. The same with the arms, actually. It's 0.6. Let's say this. This is that. Sleeves. Geometry 0.6. So it's kind of a cohesive look. Okay, goody. All right, let's grab a pose for our girl. Also, save scene, very important. Custom character with outfit, let's just call it that. Pose, gotcha. Pose from the vastness of the pose library. Let's say we'll narrow it down to this. Oh yeah, bodies in motion. That'd be interesting. So the outfit isn't going to follow now. Bodies in motion. Yes, I think I've bought that recently. Very cool. So these things, this is not great, not because she's upside down, but because these extreme bends, like 180-degree bend on an arm, this is probably not doing our garments any favors. Like even with this might cause issues. So I don't know how well the garment's going to hold up. So it's more like a standing position, I think. Even though this is kind of cool too. We can always try it. I don't know how well the garment's going to hold up. But let's try. So if I were to make this follower clothing, we might actually get away with it. So it is possible to do, but I'm going to go and just do the drape in Marvelous Design and see how it comes out. Ready for explosion. Yes, exactly. Let's say this is a jump kick. So I'll go and just export her out. G8 jump kick. Jump kick pose. Let's see. So we've got, this is saved, right? Just making sure. Still thinking about it. Yeah, we can. I'm just deciding not to do it. It's a good idea to use the transfer utility here, because she's this is not something that would require deforce draping. Just because I'm in the mood for marvelous designing, you know. And sometimes I like making my life a little bit more complex than it needs to be. Like this example shows. Add as a morph target. Boom! The other issue that Marvelous Designer sometimes has is with applying poses. You can see that her body gets really weird and wonky, and that's because it goes, I think it uses the shortest distance between things. So it just moves the vertices, so that means it doesn't interpolate with a skeleton in mind. It literally just shifts the vertices, and while they are correct when they come out, the interpolation is not working well. So on poses like this, if this doesn't work out, which it looks like it doesn't here, on the arm and all, what you'd have to do is set this up on a timeline and have interpolation on the timeline, and then export literally 2 or 3 in between poses so that you can help Marvelous Designer kind of get there. Yeah, like her hand is now poking through the sleeve, so this didn't work out so well. But there's always ways around it if you wanted to display it that way. I might actually do it because it's kind of funky to do that and show you the process. Kemi would just use the transfer utility, and he's totally right about this. Tuck, I wish it would be that easy, but that pose I'd never get out again in into Daz Studio, so it has to be morph target. I wish it were that easy. So the poses that come with Marvelous Designer, they only work with the avatars that come with Marvelous Designer, I believe. Hey, that's not it, is it? Not recent. This one here. MD custom fit, that's the one. And just no, not import. I meant just open a project here. Like this here. That's the one. Open. Garment. In fact, and avatar. Everything. I think I like this pose. I think I'm partial to that pose. I'm gonna just help Marvelous Designer out a little bit. So this was that. I can just go back to that, and then I'll go over to frame 30. Then I apply that. And now I'm interpolating. That's kind of cool. So rather than giving Marvelous Designer one morph target, I think it'll be okay inferring this. Just on its way there. I'll just call that jump kick pose V1, as in, like, you know, part 1. And then maybe 2 more, like maybe on frame 15 or frame like 17 here. Frame 15, I'll make it as easy as possible on it. This is jump kick V2. Let's do that in stages. And then we'll have one more kind of halfway, like here. That's V3, and then we have the final one. Woohoo! Okay. Hello, Marvelous Designer. How you doing? Let's go and give you... Man. Jump kick V1. And I think add morph target, we can put 30 frames is probably enough here. So a little change rather than a lot of change. The Neville is here. My goodness, you're still up? Neville, it must be like 3 in the morning for you now. Welcome. Up and on for so long. I'm determined to finish this off. Determined, I say. That's what my oncology nurse always used to say to me. You're very determined to get better and survive cancer. And it's a word that has been a sticky note on my bathroom mirror ever since. Determined. I like that. It's a good word. Do you know, Tug, I was considering actually using version 10 instead of 11, because so what I found, maybe it's just me making it up, they have tidied up the UI a lot in Marvelous Designer, so I do like that. They've certainly made a change there, but I have a feeling version 10 was a little bit more performant. I had 9, and then I was kind of umming and ahhing about getting 10, and I did it because it had this marvelous this fitting suit utility. That was a new version, a new feature in 10, and the only real changes I can see here in 11 are that the UI has been tidied up. There we go. 30 frames was actually enough. We probably need less than that. So, oop, still simulating. Yeah, so maybe 10 frames is actually enough to let it do this thing. Oh yeah, book covers, cool. I like it. Yeah, it's always about, I find that's really important for us all to remember that you gotta use the tool that works best for you. Not every tool is for everybody, and not every workflow is for everybody. And it's also not the tool that makes the artist. So thinking I'll go and buy software package X doesn't equal better output immediately if you don't know your way around it. So like Brian, for example, uses PaintShop Pro instead of Photoshop. And that's a really good example of something that actually works for Brian. Costs him much less cash than Photoshop does. And it does the trick. And for Brian it works, and it's it's important to remember. So likewise, then if Kemi says, hey look, I do most of my stuff in Daz Studio, it works just fine, that's it's good to keep in mind. If you have something that works for what you're doing, use that, and don't necessarily try to change it up just because it's hip and trendy right now. Oh, you use FBX for that, Chris? How's interesting. I've been playing with the new FBX importer for Daz Studio by Jeff Salvage and his students. That is seriously rad. That can do good things for importing things that might not have imported well into Daz Studio otherwise. I think 10 is a little more performant, If I say stop simulating, I'd expect you to do that in the next 5 minutes. But it does not, alas. Spectral rendering, do you know what? I tried it out once, Deviant, and the colors came out all weird, and I didn't have a lot of time, so I thought, well, I'm gonna go and, look at this another day. I haven't yet. I haven't really explored that yet, but I'm very grateful for the tip. I see, like, stop simulating, like as in stop it now. Toy doesn't want to do it. Do you want to? Can you just open up another or like import add obj. There, finally. So this was, I think, V2. Now we have V3, and then we have the final pose. Morph target 15 frames. Come on, fingers crossed. And now we don't have the hand poking through the arm anymore. And now we need a nice little angry expression for her to do kickboxing. Yeah, so this is kind of an issue already that maybe, I'm not sure if the garment's going to survive that. At the bottom, let's hope, let's hope. Final one. Jesus, remember, it totally doesn't want to do that. Jump kick, so this is the final one. This is the original one. 15 frames, let's see what happens. Come on. And I guess it takes so long because at every frame of the interpolation, it drapes the garment. So that's why it just takes a little bit of time. Okay, I think we're done here. Aren't we, Marvelous Designer? Are we? Yes, we're done. Like, stop simulating now. It doesn't want to do it. It's like on all the time now. I'm good with that. I'm just going to select the garment. Yes. So I guess, Tag, what I'm trying to say is maybe, you know, you're not missing much with version 9. Because if it works for you, you know, OBJ selected. Outfit kick pose, and that is that. Single object, all patterns, thin, corners, yes. Oh, I didn't change the scale again. Oh, I just need to remember that. Like, stop. There. Got it. Okay. So on this last frame, in that outfit, outfit kick pose, just need to remember that it was supposed to be that. And I think reverse deformations, yes. I think that is pretty much it. Does the outfit kick pose? Yes, it does. Look at that. Boom! The outfit kick posed. Perfect. Like har. Let's give a like a har type expression. Just go over, save that. And then we'll do a little bit of skin texture, lighting, and then we're good to rock. There's these ones here, pirate expressions and discoverer expressions. Let's see if they work. Like, this is nice here. This is for, oh, this is Anna Hart and the Genesis female. See which one works. Like, har, nice one. Perfect. Got the perfect expression already. Or we use Puppeteer to mix them out. Like, if we got the person selected here, yes. That could be here, and then we have, this is just a regular angry. That's nice, and then we can go and interpolate between those two. Har! I'm telling you, don't do that to me! Also nice, if you wanted, you could use a controller to put all these things onto a slider. So between that, just pick something that really works, like that. Goodie. Also the other thing is so that this the thing about the underwear, let's see, I think I want to give her something like a bra. I don't know if this one here, Phenom lingerie, that's a nice bra on it. Actually no, it's got the bra and the shirt, so we can't use that. Let's use something else. It's Angel Secrets. That might work. That might work. And this one, was this for Genesis 8? Oops. No, this is the 3 version. This is the 8 version. Okay. So I don't know how that's gonna work together with the outfit here. It could disturb it a little bit. If it kind of intersects with one another, we don't know. If it does, we'll just pull it out a little with ZBrush or something. I think also like the breast shape needs to be adjusted then. So to give that, give her some support here. But whoops. So like up a little. Oh yeah, that's where it starts poking through. So we'll see. That requires a small adjustment there. And then also the like cleavage. There we go. Yeah, we don't want to go into too much detail with breast utilities, and we're going to dispense with that. Okay, cool. So then that I'm thinking that could have a different color. See what we have. Pink might work. Pink instead of white, or just black. Black might be a bit much. Might not do that. Pink, let's try pink. Okay, pink, good stuff. And goodie. Let's do a little outfit adjustment with the ZBrush. So for that, I think because it's not a fitted outfit, you could do that. I wanted to give her an actual skin texture anyway in a moment, but yeah. Blue's a good color. Alien, there we go. So this doesn't work with GoZ now because, I mean, I can send the character over with GoZ, but our outfit isn't going to come in, so we have to go and bring that in manually, but that's okay, we can do that. I might go, and I think we're done with Marvelous Designer. I'm just going to close that down. And also Substance Painter, I think we're kind of done with that as well for now. Go and save this. Just give myself a little bit of room here. And then we'll go and send this over to the ZBrush, where the current resolution is probably not necessary. And I like using ZBrush with my little tablet, so I'm going to go and get that ready. it all balances on my lap, you know. John, thank you for being here. I really appreciate that. And I will check out your new videos. I've seen that you have a few on your channel, but I haven't had a chance to watch them. I think if we type in exclamation mark Fugazi in the chat, we'll give you a nice shout out. If you're not subscribed to John, aka 3D Megaverse, whoops, aka Fugazi's channel, I recommend you do that now. He's just about to reach 2,000 subscribers. He's doing some amazing tutorials about Marvelous Designer, Substance Painter, Modo, as well as Blender. So there's just tons of stuff to discover, and it's just such a nice chilled out atmosphere. It's literally like, you know, hey, let's come sit down, let's doodle around with something, and you learn so much in the process. Very knowledgeable man, that John. Very nice that you're here. Thank you so much. There we go, that's our character, and we haven't got anything else, but that's cool. We can go and import that now. I think under Subtool. Oh, there we go. This is the bra that is, for some bizarre reason, not showing up. I'm okay with that. I don't actually need it here. Let's go delete it. Yeah, that's okay. So I'm going to go and import our outfit now, which I don't think we have as an OBJ version as such. So I'm going to go and export this as, I'll go outfit posed for ZBrush, just so that I remember what that is. 100% is probably good. Yeah, manual little round trip. So this is tricky. You have to literally go to a different tool in ZBrush to do that. And you think, why would I do that? Then you go and import the thing that you want. Oh no, actually you don't. What am I talking about? Let's go back to my girl here. You have to do this from a different palette. Actually, it's here. It's append, like this here, append, and then you go, and then I think you switch to something. No, actually. You gotta do what I said. Go to something else and import the thing to get it into the project, as it were. Where is it now? Outfit, something about ZBrush. Outfit post for ZBrush, that's the one. Import that, then that's where it is. But then to get it into your other project, I think you just select this again, and then you go to append down here, and then you use this to put that on, and then it should appear at some point. But it doesn't. I don't really know why. Maybe because I have to export Genesis the same way. That could be. Maybe I just can't use ZBrush. Sorry, the Gozi for that. Let me do that. Right, that's how it works. That's just anything to make your life uncomfortable. GA posed for ZBrush. Also clever to use a different folder for that. I might actually do that, you know. Just so that I totally don't lose control here. So ZBrush, OBJs. There, that, 100%. Could be the scale. Could be the scale. I'll go and export this out again as well. Outfit for ZBrush. And then we'll just import both of these things in here. So this will say import GA post. Left click and drag. Oh yeah, perfect. TF. Oh, there it is. So it was just the scale then, I suppose. Okay, so alt click on the outfit, and then we just go and gently Where's that circle? Anyone seen the circle? Was my draw size gone? What's going on? Scale master. My God, that is scary. Why does that not work? That doesn't work. Scale master. Does it work just now? That's bizarre, isn't it? So does anything happen? Is it just my size here? Yes, okay, it's just my size then. So something does happen. That serves me right not knowing anything about ZBrush. So not the way it usually works. But hey. Should I use Blender instead? Really? That'll solve it? Let me go and undo what I've done here. I've never used that before. What does that do, Kemi? Help a brother out. It's like this here. So you go to Z plugin and then you go to Scale Master. And I'll say literally centimeters. Is that what I want? Set scene scale. Is that what we want? Error. The current tool has XYZ values greater than 100. This can happen when importing a model into ZBrush incorrectly. Automatic scale, unify all subtools to result. Sure, whatever. It's cool. This isn't going to be a total disaster when I export it, right? This is going to be totally magically working because I currently can't see the relationship between 71 millimeters and 2.8 inches. Disaster. Backup option. Literally immediately abort. Use Blender. Easy. I'm happy to learn new things. But if it gets to a point where I'm thinking I have no idea what any of this is or does, abort. Let's do this. I think we're all good here. She might be ever so slightly large. Once again, scale issues. S 0.01. Same with the outfit. Shame there's no scale on import. I'd like to see that as an option in Blender. Aha. All right. Oops. Modifiers are all different, of course. And now with the outfit, I can go and do my sculpting in here. It's just, you know, at ZBrush, I have this love-hate relationship. When it's a one-click operation for a quick fix, I'm all happy about it. If it means digging into scary menus that I don't understand, it really isn't, it's not for me. It's not for me. It's one of those things. It's, I really like it, but it's too complex for me. It's just not something I'm comfortable even, you know, understanding, really. Which is a shame because I do like ZBrush. But, you know, an artist knows his limitations. should know his limitations. Artist, I use that term very lightly. Very lightly, that is. Probably could be a good job for the inflate brush here, like that. See what else I've missed. Like here, a little elbow action. Did you say something about the hand? I think we're okay on the hand front. No, actually, yeah, a little bit. I can see it's a little bit of a problem here. I might just correct the pose of the hand. I'll try that. Just move the hand a little bit forward in Daz Studio. Maybe that's going all right here. I would love it if there was a ZBrush bridge into and back from like what we have with ZBrush for Blender. This would be ideal, like send to Blender. I'm not interested in render settings and, you know, shader setups. Like if we basically make it a separate product that just is make a quick fix in Blender with whatever tool you like. That is the kind of bridge integration I'd like to see. It's all good down here, yeah. Let's see what the smoothing modifier makes with that. Go and export that out again. We'll just misappropriate this. Outfit poke fix. And here we'll say selection only. And then scale 100. Super important, keep vertex order. See if it works, huh? So that should now have the correct scale already. So 100 is good. Wish me luck, wish me luck. Poke fix. Reverse deformations. I should really set up a preset for this. Let's see. Does it work? And? Does it? It works. It works. It works. Poke fix does. Yeah. Not do the job. What a shame. It happens. And I did say vertex order, keep vertex order intact, didn't I? Dang, brother. That's cold. Selection only, OBJ objects, keep vertex order. Maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Maybe I should not correct the vertex order. Just for a laugh. Yeah, I know, Kemi, and I love using it. It just, you know, I use 5% of ZBrush, and I really like it when it works. But when it doesn't, I also know that there's no point in me spending 7 hours trying to get something right that may or may not work. I'll just go down the road that I'm more confident with. Let's try that. There's also, wasn't there another thing here? Let's see if that works. This is the no vertex order thing. Hey, the same thing. Oh, do I need to set this to 0 and then this to on? No, also not. Dang! Nothing works. What a shame. Curious. Might be. That is a good point. We could do that too. But I feel like there's just if this would only just work the way I've just done it, you know, that'd be ideal. Do we have, that's another option here. Do we have all the material zones here on the outfit? It looks like we do not. Do we? No, hang on. Do we? Yeah. So we could just go and instead of using this outfit, we just bring in the new outfit, screw the vertex order, like outfit poke fix, like so. And hello, that was, it's a little bit large here. Okay, fine. No problem. Because I exported with the correct scale, didn't I? Yay! Awesome. So then from here, boom, fixed it. Fixed it. A mesh grabber would have also been okay, but you know, if it's kind of a sculpt fix, mesh grabber is another possibility. Yeah, that's possible. There's just, you know, there's so many ways that you can do this in 3D. Might also give us some shoes while I'm here. Shoes, socks. So we have socks. Do we have shoes? Shoes, high heels. Perfect. Oh, that's unsupported. Cancel. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's probably these ones then. Perfect. Got the shoes. Check. I wanted to fix the hand. Make that unselectable. Just fix the hand here. Unless you're unselectable as well. Oh yeah, you are. Fix the hand just so that it comes out here a little. Which one is it? The left one, this one here. Oh, that's the other one. kind of this way. There. Disaster has been averted. Maybe this goes up as well. There. Okay. Skin texture. Oh, also jewelry. Do we have that here? Accessories? Yes. Not so much this, but maybe this. This is the 8. Cool. Does that work? That's interfering. We don't want to do that. Forget that. Earrings. And these are earrings. Earrings, perfect. And I'm sure we could move those around. Since she's in motion, maybe we can go and try to move the earrings. Huh. Can't even select the earrings? What's going on? Oh, there we go. Earrings. There. Earrings, fully rigged earrings. Gotcha. Neck, upper, head. I still can't see them. They also don't seem to appear when I try to select them. Leave the earrings for later. Life's too short. Life is just too short. Let's put a render out in the next 10 minutes, 9 minutes, with some materials. And we'll use maybe Mylin shaders. Is that cool? I don't think I've ever used Mylin. Let's try that. See what that looks like. She's mad because she just sprained her ankle. Maybe. Right, exactly, with the sassy feet. It's the high heel assassin. She looks super grumpy already. Oh, there's also Mylin with a bit of face paint, I think. Or brows and face paint. Speaking of brows, they're not actually there. Is this a good skin tone? I might just save my scene just in case. Her feet pay attention to her footsies. I'll try. I'll have a look in a sec. I don't think I've applied the high heel pose either. I'll see how we'll frame it up. Yeah, I've never used Mylin. I think maybe something with a slightly darker complexion would work better, just for the facial features. Sol, I've never tried her either. Let's try that. Darker complexion works a little better for me. Let's keep looking, you know, part of the fun. Toon Princess. We could just use Monique, I suppose. Speaking of darker complexion. Jay has a face paint fetish, exactly. Yeah, I think maybe that's a bit too dark. Maybe we'll stick with her, with Sol. Yeah, let's stick with her. Did we have any kind of makeup options here? Did we? We do makeup. We've got tons of makeup. And maybe that signifies, look, I'm really dangerous. Yes, I like it. Ooh, face paint. I like it. Totally got my fetish sorted. Also, maybe like dark nails. Purple is good. Or something kind of more like black would be nice. And maybe purple will do. Oh, there's also, now that I see it, there's this thumb position here. I'll take care of that. How about the other one? And then we'll take care of the feet, I promise, I promise. It's just more about, I'd like to get a render out of this. And then, you know, the fine tunes, that's another, is this it? No. That's another matter here. Like that. Do we have the same problem over here? Might do. Foot position, while we're talking about it. What was the problem with the foot position? Oh, let's go get rid of those shoes, shall we? They didn't have the high heel poles, right? Is that what the problem was? And is this a 3 version? Oh, the 8 version. This is 3, this is 8. Hey, there we go. Is that good? Sidekick stilettos. This is gonna be the render, like, hiya! And maybe not. Maybe just kind of something from the side here for the YouTube thumbnail, at least something like that. I'm thinking. Oh, there's also hair. My God, we haven't talked about hair, have we? Hair comes last, I say. The agony of the defeat, absolutely. OCD, it's all calmed down now. The worst is when you know something isn't right, even though you don't see it. Like, you know, if you just frame her up like that and you go, but I know the feet aren't correct. I know they're not in the render, but I know it's just something not quite right, is there? I like it. So I'm thinking something with the dark background. something like it could be this here. Or the one with the Halloween edition, that's also a good one. Like this one here. It gives a bit of a spooky lighting on here. Let's try that. With background. And then some hair. Yeah, that, maybe we go and just move that kind of over here a little, like so. See how we want to frame this up, just to see what this actually looks like. It might be a little hot. Or it might not be, actually. That might, yeah, maybe it's just a little hot. So I like all the light effects. If we just make that maybe kind of half, maybe a little more than, no, actually this might work. 0.7 maybe. Like I certainly like this here. Maybe just 0.5, and then since she's a little dark here, we'll just add one light from there, just to brighten up those shadows a bit. I like it. So I'll literally just use a point light with a different light geometry. And also just have that come from here. Oops. OCD fixed. I'm still laughing about that. It's very, very cool. So light value 50,000 perhaps. It might be too much. Light geometry, make it a sphere. That makes it a bit softer. We don't want to render the emitter. Brighten setup. Actually, 50,000 might actually be might be good. Might actually not be enough. Let's go and make that twice as much. Could even then turn down the intensity, the environment a little more. And then of course we won't render the background. I can go and replace that in Photoshop with something nicer. And then also crank her up a little bit, maybe 0.4. Maybe 0.4 is good. I don't want the highlights here to burn out quite that much. Oops. What does it look like with less, so that we retain the drama? Just don't want her eyes to be quite that dark in the shadow. This is without the point light. So I do like that whole drama to it. So maybe just a little bit like that. I'm thinking. Well, it wasn't quite 10 minutes. We still need to do the hair, but let's do that. Let's do hair. Let's do hair, and then we have something we can actually render out. I like it. And then I can do all kinds of different camera angles and tweaks on this. So maybe this, as if we say this is like a 16:9 shot. And maybe this could be something like dramatic. Maybe. Let's see what we can do for hair. I'm thinking like hair that kind of wafts out to that direction. So that would kind of exclude maybe a deforce hair, I'm thinking. Now deforce it, yes. Deforce it all. The Madeline tails, that would be like wafty tails. Hat hair. Start by filtering. I'd like this one. I'd love to use this one, but I think it's a deforce hair, and I don't know if it exists as a non-deforce version. I don't think it does. So if we load that up, it goes, and it's a very complex thing. It has a main hair prop, and then it has 4 instances of the hair as well, but it's deforce. So it's this looks great. Actually, I just don't deforce it. Maybe that's the key to success here. Just don't deforce it, just leave it as is. I don't know if there are any adjustments on this. But yeah, this would need to be deforced. And since we've already used the timeline for our pose here, I need to go and do some jigging around here to find the right position to catch it kind of in mid-air. Maybe that's for another day. Do you know, actually, that is not a bad call. Why don't we do that on another stream? So let's go and make this, let's use a different hair for this. I'll go and make this invisible, or just kind of remove it actually. I like the idea of doing some more work with this hair on this render, and then that's cool. But for now, just so that we have a render to come home with, what's Minami here? I don't think I've used that before. Minami, have a look. Indeed, yes. Stop mid deforce. That's an idea. Yeah, I don't think that's the look we're going for. Rosita has hair. Oh, short hair, short side part hair. That would be extremely simple. That'd be really simple for quick render. Maybe we should do that. Perfect. I love it. And then let's do this on Monday then, like literally tomorrow, from 5 p.m. on my Twitch channel. Let's go play with this hair, because I really like what we've done so far, and I'd like to have that hair stop in mid-air. But that's going to be another hour, so I'm not gonna do it today. I'm just going to use this for now. Something more black, like black. Like so. And I'd also like to have a look at the earrings and kind of make them, just put a bit of motion into the whole thing. But for now, I think that might not be bad. I'll go and render this out, and it will become the thumbnail for this video. Watch out for that. Do we have... just save it before I click Control R. Short blonde, Kenny. I can totally try. See if this how this comes out. Blonde. I'm good with blonde. Let's do that. Short blonde. Camilla says, "Boo! I can't sit anymore. I can barely speak." Hello, Denoiser. Where have you been all my life? Yes, we're getting there. Ignore the background. We'll replace that in Photoshop. Boo! That is so funny. Oh, there's also this other thing I wanted to do on the outfit, and that's to try a subdivision surface modifier. Outfit poke fix. Maybe I'll call that the outfit so that I remember what that is. Edit object geometry, convert to sub D. Yes, look at that, more smooth. You, my girl, you're high res, aren't you? Just checking here. Yes, you are. Just checking. Then blonde hair, and we'll see if there's any morphs in that hair as well. Blonde, like super white blonde, like this type blonde. Or something more like a dark blonde. But there's also gray. And then there's white. White is also cool. Halle Berry Catwoman. How about white instead of blonde? So there's ginger here as well, but I'm not sure. Ginger, nah, blonde is blonde. Something like blonde. Bon appetit, Nico. Absolutely. Let's see if there's any morphs in the hair. Morphs, yes. Must. Floppy style, 100%. Oh, I see. This is the unfloppy style. Also cool. Maybe don't go too floppy. Just go like 20% floppy. Longer style, okay. Bring it on. See, all of a sudden, a better experience. What's must? Sweet. Must style 2. Unkempt is the word we're looking for. Unkempt. And then there's tousled. Bring me the tousle. Yes. Bring me the tousle. I'm still thinking perhaps a little more on the light front here. Just a little, also perhaps a different make it slightly warmer from the front here. I just add a little more. Or just use 50. I don't want the drama to disappear. Yes, if I make the environment too dark, I think I might run into this problem that I need an extra light from the back here. So that's something I think I might consider doing that. So I'll leave it on this for now and render this out, and then on Monday we'll do something more with the light. So I'm thinking I'd like these effects, but I'd like to emphasize them a little differently. So I'm going to turn the environment down like 0.2 or 0.3 or something, give another light from the back, and then enhance the eyes a little bit more. But yeah, for now, I think that's good for 3.5 hours of hard work. Can you even tell that much time has gone into this? I can't. Framing is debatable. I like that we see one leg here, but maybe we'll do it more emphasized from the side, like so. Okay, that's the thumbnail for this stream. That only took us 3 hours. Hey, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm going to go and post that on Discord and on Artstation with some behind the scenes captures, and then you can all go and have a look at it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that. All of you who've been hung in here until the very end. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for the tips. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon from 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 10 p.m. in the UK, that is 11 p.m. in Europe, for a late night 3D Shenanigans session where we're going to file off some more imperfections of this render. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful Sunday. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.